The United States is one of the most diverse countries in the world, with thousands of immigrants streaming in each year. However, anti-immigration sentiment has been an issue ever since the 1800s.
During the Industrial Revolution, immigrants started flowing in. Ellis Island opened, and the U.S. became a land of dreams and hopes of waves of immigrants. The first wave included German, Spanish, and English. These people, however, were heavily discriminated against, and when the newer second wave of immigrants, Irish, Italian, Russian, and Austro-Hungarian Empire people arrived, it was no different for them. This cycle continued to the third wave.
There were many causes for this discrimination. One of them was immigrants were a source of cheap labor and were getting jobs instead of native-borns. Chinese people were willing to work for much less than native-borns and got many jobs, and some succeeded to become entrepreneurs of their own. Rumors spread, and the Chinese came to be known as people who congregated in Chinatowns to visit prostitutes, smoke opium, and gamble. This anti-immigration sentiment resulted in political action. The Chinese Exclusion Act passed by the Congress in 1882 suspended Chinese immigration for 10 years. The Irish also mass immigrated to the U.S., and hostility to them erupted. Part of it was due to religion, as they were Roman Catholic, unlike most native-borns. Part of the opposition was political. Most immigrants living in cities became Democrats because the party focused on needs of commoners. Part of the opposition occurred because Americans in low-paying jobs were threatened and sometimes replaced by groups willing to work for almost nothing in order to survive. Signs that read, NINA, No Irish Need a Place, sprang up throughout the country.
200 years later, this still hasn't ended.
Today's wave from Central America leaves us with more than 52,000 unaccompanied children this year. Also, the number of mothers carrying their children over the border has been increasing, leaving us with more undocumented immigrants.
And where there are more immigrants, there will be discrimination. There is still lots of hate towards these people. Religion again is a problem when different immigrants apply for jobs, and this is prominent towards Muslims. In the US, a study showed that Muslims and Christians with identical regimes, Muslims only get called back 2% of the time, while Christians 17% of the time.
Immigrants providing cheap labor is also still a huge issue. Anti-immigrant groups see the U.S. job market as a competition between natives and immigrants, where if one side gains a job, the other side loses one. Due to immigrants working for lower wages than U.S. citizens, immigrants usually get jobs, and is the cause of lots of anti-immigration sentiment in the United States today.
But what people didn't see in the past and today about immigrants is what caused the anti-immigration sentiment the most of the time. Local citizens were led to believe in stereotypes and rumors. A common misconception is that undocumented immigrants don't have to pay taxes. However, 3/4 of the undocumented immigrants do pay taxes, which adds up to $6 to $7 billion.
Another stereotype that people have towards immigrants is that immigrants are bad people and cause crimes. However, the reality is that there are more native-born Americans in prison than foreign people. Most citizens wish immigrants could just be sent back to their country, but they don't realize that it would cost billions of dollars to accomplish and that it would harm the economy because of loss of workers. People think that immigrants come to the U.S. to benefit from public services and health care. However, the truth is many immigrants are banned from benefits for 5 years or permanently.
Anti-immigration sentiment can also be influenced by media. For example, Muslim immigrants. People think that all of them are terrorists, and due to 9/11, this has been strengthened. The media, such as the news, tends to broadcast bad things that Muslims have done, causing misconceptions, such as the Karan encouraging to kill, when it actually doesn't at all. A big task for reducing anti-immigration sentiment is understanding these misconceptions and being careful not to discriminate based on this misinformation. Polls show that since 1990, people have begun to want to accept immigrants more and believe that immigrants contribute to the country rather than harm it. Since 2010, the majority said that all immigrants should be accepted into the country, and since mid-2008, citizens have said that immigrants strengthen the U.S. rather than harm it.